You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
Hello. This is African Queen. How y'all doing today? Thank you for coming to Taboo Talk on Power Plug Radio. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can go to www.powerplugradio.com and find us and listen to us live. We play all the jams 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I want to say thank you again for coming into Taboo Talk, and I would like to introduce the guest host. Her name is your girl, NY.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
We're good. You know, we chilling.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of what's going to lead into our topic today. But how you doing?
I'm good, Johnny. I'm just glad to be here.
Thank you for coming.
See my sisters, honey. I love it. Yes.
So welcome to Power Plug Radio. Welcome to the family. We're glad to have you on the show. It is nice to have that opinion, that person you can bounce stuff off of. And, you know, you don't always have to agree.
Absolutely.
You know, you just got to, at the end, come to a conclusion. That's
right.
it.
That's right.
So we're going to talk about a topic that has been very controversial back in the day. It's starting to lose some of that, but you know, our conservative people on the other side, they're really trying to say no to it, and that's marijuana, Mary Jane, weed.
Okay.
What else? I'm thinking some other names.
Kush.
Chronic. There you
Sticky.
go.
Ooh, weed. I can go on and on.
Okay. So, you know, over the years, we've seen in different states that they've passed medical marijuana, more so medical marijuana than recreational, but we do have some states that has recreational. We're going to talk about that one because I went to one of them. Okay. And so, but you know, because it's still federally considered a controlled substance, I can't get on a plane with, even though I have a medical marijuana card,
right,
I can't get on a plane with anything talking about flying anywhere. Because if they find it, it can be considered a federal offense, even though legally I can do it in my state.
Because you crossing state lines.
Because I'm crossing state lines, because it's still federally, you know, banned, you know, illegal. Yeah. And I want to talk a little bit about how it became illegal. You know, it's that manipulation of, this is one of the reasons, the manipulation of laws. So back in the day, prohibition, when liquor was illegal. And at the end of Prohibition, well, during Prohibition, the government created a task force. And if y'all remember the movie Untouchables, that movie back in the day, Kevin Costner's Elliot Ness, that was the beginning of that task force that they created to combat, the mafia and the liquor and all that kind of stuff. So when they realized that liquor was getting ready to become legal again, they were like, oh shit, but wait a minute, we ain't got nothing to do. What about us? Right. We got to find something that we can chase people or arrest people. So back then it was the Mexicans. And so the director of this, and I can't remember the name of what branch it was, I believe it ended up becoming a branch of the CIA, went in front of Congress and everything and said, look, marijuana isn't a good thing, because what happens is the Mexicans, they smoke it and then they come over here to America to do their jobs, and while they smoking and then they getting high, they be looking at your women's and they gonna want them.
Okay.
And and it does this and it does that and it makes them act crazy and all of this stuff, and then the next thing you know, it was illegal. And then they started telling you all of these bad things about it. Because I remember growing up and being taught, it kills your brain cells. The new weed, right? The fried, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
But see, the new weed is not like the old weed.
Right.
I'm talking about when weed was called reefer.
Right, reefer.
I'm talking about reefer.
When they had to do it to get the seeds out. Remember the seeds?
There wasn't no blunts.
No,
there wasn't no bongs and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It was bamboo and easy water.
Yep.
That's it.
That was the thing.
But now you got perp and all this other stuff.
And you got and now with the dispensaries, Lord have mercy, I didn't even know the variety you could have
in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Is it bud or is it just
when
like
you
store?
Yeah, it's like that's
it's like Vegas.
It's like
Vegas, I heard, got it.
Now it's not as much as Vegas and like Colorado, because they can have recreational, so then they have a lot more, but the dispensaries here is medicinal. So but when you walk in, like why I walked into the one down, well there's many downtown, but one of the ones downtown, and my friend was like, look, they got an inhaler. I was like, you mean like
an asthma pump?
Yes, they got this asthma pump inhaler. Yep, you can pump yourself.
Get out of here. So let me ask you this: when you walk in there, it's just that's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's very secure. So when you walk, you have to go through a process. You get your medical marijuana card. You go to doctors, your insurance won't cover it, so you got to pay out of pocket. And you see the doctor looks at your records, and if the doctor says yes, I can see where this would be a benefit to you, they then say to the state, yep, they can have a card.
Okay.
When you get to the dispensary, if it was your first time, they want you to come back. So your first time, most of the time when you go in, you have to show them your medical marijuana card. They make you have a seat, and then a person who works in the back comes to the door, because it's a security door, and they call you. They have your card, and you go back with them, and they have their own station. And some of them are like as big as this table, or some of them are shaped like you, and it ain't nothing but stuff, all marijuana stuff.
But do they have like the actual buds, the plants that you can do the old school rope?
And they come in different sizes. So I learned this the other day. So a lot of them have T1, T2, and T3. Okay. So T1 and T2 are always hand picked. The T3 is picked by a machine. Also, the T1 means the bud is the biggest, T2 is the middle size, and T3 is the smallest. So and then I also found out that it doesn't, no matter if it's big or small, if they come from the same plant, they're going to have the same potency. But I don't know why it makes a difference that they're picked by hand whether than picked by the machine, especially if it doesn't change the potency. But maybe that's them to be able to get another $1, right? But so they tell you that the buds, I mean, when I tell you pretty, because they come in, some of them come in colors. Like I saw this one, and the leaves had this purple color on the ends of it, but then it looked like it had like a a gold fuzz. I said the Qs would love that one because it was like, but it had this fuzz on it. And I mean, when I tell you pretty and girl,
really,
the smell, they now got bags that they give you so the smell don't come out, and it stops the smell. But when I tell you strong, ooh, goodness,
really,
you ain't never smelled.
So what would
like
you
this.
suggest for for a beginner? Because see, when I smoke, I'm like, oh, my heart beating fast. I can't, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So if I wanted something to just like
calm you down,
where it don't give you the boom, 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 because I'm not a pro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what would you do?
You would definitely want to start off with the indica string. That's the chill out. You know,
really? And it doesn't give you that racing.
No, you know, and that's the good thing about this is because they've what's the word I'm looking for? They've cultivated it so that you can tell them exactly what you need. Like, okay, I'm having some depressed days, and you know my anxiety is up, and da 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 da, and they'll go, I know this perfect strand for you. I mean, like really, like seriously, a drugstore. Like a drugstore. You tell them what you want, what your issues are, and they come back and they tell you, okay, you know what, you need to do straight THC. But then they say, you know what, now you need to do one that's half THC, half CBD. You know, I mean, it's like they're like little pharmacists. You know,
that is crazy. So Florida is not recreational yet; it's just medicinal.
No, it's just medicinal.
Because I know DC. Colorado, New York, they're all
Nevada.
Yeah, Nevada. They're all California, LA.
Yeah,
that's recreational, right?
And it's some states that surprised me that was further north, because the gentleman who I was with the other day, who my assistant, he was telling me what states, because he said some states will allow you to come to their state with your medical marijuana card and buy stuff.
Okay.
Now you can't buy it and then get back on the plane and come home.
You got to get it in while you're there.
You got to buy it and do it when you're there. Gotcha. Now you can try, and people, don't get me wrong, people have learned ways to put it on a plane and get it back.
Yeah, I heard.
But but I wouldn't do it because it's a federal offense if you get caught. Right. You know, and why do that? Just smoke that shit and give it to somebody. Exactly. You don't use it all because you can just buy some when you get home.
Exactly.
You know, but it's there. Once my understanding is that if during Biden's presidency he goes ahead and decriminalizes marijuana, then if you have that medical card, it will not be a federal offense if you have something on a plane with you. Okay. Now you can transport CBD across state lines. You can. Okay. But you can't THC, and the reason why you can't do the CBD, I mean, you can do the CBD is because the THC amount in it is like little to nothing, so it can't be considered a controlled substance. Okay. So and I do both. I use both. So CBD is the one that helps more with my actual pain.
The CBD? The
CBD, right. The THC part, it also helps with the pain, but it also helps with your mood and your mind and your, so there's two strands. There's the indica, which is the one, and the girl who was teaching me this, she said the way you can remember that indica is the one that keeps you calm is think about indica as in the couch. So, when you chill out, what do? You stay down in the couch. Right. So she said, if you can remember in the couch, then you know that indica is the one that calms you down. Okay. So then automatically sativa is the one that gives you energy.
Isn't that like a sugar or something? No, that's stevia.
That's stevia. Stevia.
All right, now I was about to go get me some sativa.
So and a lot of people didn't realize that weed can actually give you energy, because people always think it's a calmer. Mm-hmm. Well, it can give you energy. So like I buy both. So I was telling the guy that during the day when I'm working, I need something that's gonna give me some energy and clarity of mind. And you would never think you could contribute that to marijuana. Right. But he was like, okay, well, this is the sativa that you want. And they sit down and they break it down and show you everything it's going to help you with.
That's crazy. So how much does something like that cost? Like, do you get a half an ounce? It goes by the weight, like in the street.
They do it by grams.
Not that I know. I'm just saying. That's what I heard.
So basically, here's what happens: is when you go to the doctor, the doctor then writes you what is considered a prescription. Now, what that prescription is basically giving you your monthly allotment of what you can get. And they have to justify that allotment to Tallahassee, saying this is the reason why I gave it to her.
This is what she needs.
This is what she needs, and she's going to need this amount, every month. So for me, I get 2.5 grams, ounces, which I don't know nothing about ounces and grams and stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, dang, that's not a lot.
Right.
know? So I go in there thinking, okay, I only got 2.5 ounces. I better buy, and the 2.5 ounces is strictly for the flour. Just for the flour. Because you have a prescription amount for everything you are given. And I'll tell you that in a minute. So I have 2.5 ounces of flour. So the first time I went in, I'm thinking, okay, that's probably like one little container,
Yeah.
And let me go on and pick well, because I don't want to waste this shit. Okay.
Exactly. My shit.
So I walk in there, and then you're overwhelmed when you walk in, because it's every one of them are just so crisp and clean and all this, and they take you and they start showing you this stuff. And so I'm sitting there, and he shows me this one particular flour, and he says, okay, so this one is 22%, which for flour is a nice amount. And I'm going, okay, and he's explaining it to me and blah blah blah. And then I said, okay, well, I think this is good, so I'm gonna get this one, because that'll be. So he gives me that, and then he tells me, okay, ma'am, now you still have 2.1 ounces. I was like, what?
Oh, so your doctor gets you right.
Like,
so do you ever sit there and be stuck, like you get so high where you just like,
oh yeah,
really? That's cute.
Let me look. So so I'm gonna tell you what happened. So on there you also have a certain allotment for vape, because they have the vape cartridges. The vape cartridges are the same, just like the weed, sativa, indica, or a hybrid. Okay. And so you just go through and you tell them, and they got so many different types of cartridges, and they just keep coming out with better cartridges.
Really?
Yeah. Like they got this new cartridge that my sister-in-law got called the G pen.
Okay.
And it's something about this G pen to the fact that it's hard to find, because they keep selling out. The cartridge is made different, and so this G pen is supposed to help you when you inhale it. It's supposed to something about it, your body absorbs it better.
Oh, so you really get the high.
You really get it.
Okay.
It's like a cleaner pool.
It's like a who?
A cleaner pool.
Okay, a cleaner pool. Now, does that mean the burn isn't there as much?
So, like with vape, it's like harsher.
It is.
It's more concentrated. It's the actual concentrate. So, when what you said?
The G pen.
The G pen, it like takes away that burning feel.
Okay.
Away from it, because it's so harsh, because it's
so it's
just
filtered,
filter.
So you just hit straight weed, none of the bullshit.
Yeah, right. All of the cartilages are like that, but the G pen is more like easy on the inhale.
It doesn't have as many of the carcinogens. So it's like the science behind this
is so wild, but you appreciate it more, because you like, wow, all this goes into this. That's why everything is like on the pricier side with the license.
So how much is it?
Okay, so you don't mind. I can't read that. Okay. I was like, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But so prices.
That's that stevia. She's sativa. You see them eyes? She was like, wait, what? Oh, we're not gonna do that tonight. But
so the prices range, and like I told you, they want to get you to come back. So usually, any place you go, that first one you go to, they're gonna say, okay, you know what? If you buy over $75, we're gonna give you 50% off.
Oh.
Yes, because they want you to come back. Right. So some of them have coupons. So like after you do your little introductory thing, yes, they give you coupons.
This is really a business for real.
Yes, it is a business, and you know that almost all of them people who work in there, they are lit. Oh my God, yes. So
look, do they have stuff like, say for a man who can't get it up, or a woman who doesn't have no sex drive, what would you recommend for them? I'm asking for a friend.
That part I don't know, but again, I can say yes, they do. Which ones they have? Look, they got stuff in there for everything.
Are you serious?
So let's see. So they got bud, and I told you it comes in the different tiers. They also will. Some stores will let you, because usually when they sell it, it comes in 3.5 grams.
Okay.
And it's usually I'm trying to think, like a little, the little, remember Vaseline, and they had the real big one, the medium size, and the small one is like the size of that small one almost. Okay. So that'll be full up with bud.
Okay.
Then there's some that what they do is they grind it for you.
What? And those are the 7 grams.
Those are the 7 grams.
And it's called pre-ground.
Girl, you know your gram. You love it?
Yeah.
I know it, right? So I'm the only one in here sober right now? Okay. So we got the smoking section.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's the smoking section right there.
Okay. I could not read that.
I got you.
Yeah. So that's the pre-ground.
Right.
Then you can go in and say, you know what? I just need a couple of hits. Let me just buy a pre-roll. So you can go in there and buy a joint.
And it'll be $12
for one joint.
For one. And sometimes you'll put them on sale and they'll be like $8, stuff like that. But yes, and when I tell you they're like anywhere from a half, they do half a gram and a gram. And when you hold them next to each other, you can see the difference. They're fatter and
really
in the side. Yes.
So here's the question: can you drive while you have this card?
Yes.
They don't take away your license or nothing like that?
No.
So if you get pulled over, right? Mm-hmm. And they do like is it the same thing, a sobriety test like they would do with alcohol?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically.
How does that work if you had what's it? Your little sativa? What is it? Sativa?
Oh, the sativa.
Sativa.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if you just did your little sativa and you get pulled over?
It's medical. It's no different now. So you still have to take responsibility. So it's just like if my doctor prescribed me Percocet, and I just took 2 Percocet, I ain't gonna go get in the car and drive.
Right.
So you still have to take on that responsibility because it's a medication.
Right.
So, if I was to take it and I was high and I got pulled over, I would still get arrested most likely for driving under the influence.
And you're supposed to be at home.
Right.
It's common sense.
Yeah.
So can you roll up outside? Can you smoke outside?
If you got
on your property.
On your property.
Oh, you sit? I'm getting a car, y'all. Like I've been home sober all this time.
You go to the edge of your way of your house.
Mm-hmm. Right so I can sit in my backyard and just smoke away.
Yep.
And I know my daughter and them is watching. Listen, honey, I'm about to get this car.
Yeah. And so that's
I want the pump.
That's the pump. But that's the
they got different ones. They got topical. They got
topical cream. They got
really.
So
they have
everything. So you see this on my arm?
Yeah. What is that?
So this is a transdermal patch.
Okay.
So they have certain. Not all of them carry it. So that's the other thing. The dispensaries, they have the common stuff that they carry, but they also one is competing against the other. So they compete. So they come up with new stuff. Okay. So this is a transdermal patch, and it's kind of like when you put that patch on the back to help you stop smoking or your birth control. Yeah. So I put it on my skin. It lasts for 3 days. You can get THC. You can
it's for pain.
It's for pain and for Okay. So you can get a straight THC patch, you can get a straight CBD patch, or you can get a one-on-one, which is both parts CBD and THC. So the one that I have on right now is strictly THC.
Okay.
And it lasts for 3 days, and it dispenses out 1.9 milligrams every hour.
Yeah.
Through my skin.
Wow.
Yeah. So I can use this, and this one is actually a sativa because I knew that I had to be able to get up and work.
That sativa is something.
Yes, and so that's what, and I put the Band-Aid over it because it was it was starting to curl up a little bit on the edges.
Oh no, we can't have that.
Yeah, because today's the last day.
Oh,
for
it's
this
girl,
one.
get every little ounce you can get out
All
that
of
patch.
it, right? And then they even tell you how to roll it up and get rid of it, because you if you get enough of the used ones, people can still pull stuff out of them and make stuff. So they tell you how to dispose of it so it can't be used. So these are the patches. They have topical creams,
edibles, but only
edibles.
certain dispensaries have
edibles. Not everyone
Oh,
is
they don't have
licensed.
those out here.
So like the dispensary that I like to use, Move, is one of mine. They have chocolate now, so you can buy the chocolate bar.
God.
I get the gummies from them, so they come in flavors. Like the one I took before I came here was a mango.
And you just do one gummy?
Yeah, because it's 10 grams.
So if you did two, you'd be done.
Oh yeah.
Really? So I would probably have to just do like maybe a little foot.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? Go easy.
What they tell you on there is just if you think you can't handle it, or if you take a 10 and you be like, oh shit, they tell you to cut it in half and do 5 and build your way up to 10.
So what number you on?
I'm a 10. I don't think I'm a 10.
Real. You a 10?
I'm a 10. So let's talk about the smoke rooms, so that because I want to tell y'all about Colorado.
Okay.
The smoking section. Talk more
The
about
smoking
it.
section. Yes, talk more about it.
It's a show that's going to be here on Power Plug Radio to talk about strictly marijuana, the usages, how it can benefit you, the different strands there are, and the effects that it has on. Because a lot of people ask like, oh well, when I smoke weed it made me feel like this. Well, we'll give you more information on the different ones there is to make you feel a certain way. Like me personally, I like indica. I have a lot of anxiety. My mind's always racing. I always need a downer to kind of relax those thoughts and just make me think straightforward. Sativa for me gives me a jitters, but if I do a hybrid sativa dominant, that's more easier on me because it's still mixed with the both, but it's more dominant.
So that indica helps to balance that out, so you don't get those jitters.
Right.
There's people who like those hybrids, but then I know a lot of people who they don't do the hybrids. They want to stay away from them.
And there is truly a difference between street weed and medical marijuana. It's a difference, and a lot of people tell me like, oh, there's no difference. Well, when I got my card and I started going to the dispensary, I knew exactly how I was going to feel. So there was no anxiety following, oh, why do I feel like this? Why my neck tightening? Why my heart beating fast? I didn't have that because I knew already what I was going to be smoking because the people at the dispensary told you. And you can go on leafly.com and look it up and see exactly how you're going to feel. Now with the street weed, I was like crazy. Like, why do I feel like this? Because they didn't have no facts behind it. I just bought it off somebody. But in the dispensary, it's
and when they
better.
grow the street weed, they mix it with stuff.
You don't know what you're getting.
You don't, because the people who on the street have no idea where this came
what
from.
you're getting is so dangerous.
And so they, you it slaps it. That's why so many people would, get the high, and the next thing you know, they in the corner paranoid as hell.
See, that would be me.
Yeah, and that's what it did to it. But the first time I ever smoked weed, I'll never forget this shit. The first time I ever smoked weed, I was with my boyfriend at the time. I was in high school, and he sold weed, but I never would smoke it, or he wouldn't do that around me. And for some reason, he convinced me to do it, and I smoked it. We went to a dance at Bartlett Park, and I'll never forget, I was up against the wall at Bartlett Park, and the paranoia started kicking in, and I'm watching these people walk past me, and I realized, it was crazy. So then I got to the hunger. And I'm sitting there, I tell him I'm hungry. We was over at McDonald's eating all kind of stuff. Right. And then because the paranoia, it never went away. And then I had to go home. And I'm sitting there looking through my kitchen window because my mom and my stepdad was still up sitting on the sofa.
No.
And so, but you don't know. But like, the to be able to go and say this is what's going on with me, and for them to be able to say bam, this is what you need. Like today's weed is not our mama and daddy's weed.
No, it's not reefer.
No, it is not reefer at all.
It even smells different.
It smells
totally like I grew up with basically everybody in the house smoking reefer.
Yeah,
It was
and remember the
nothing.
cookie can or the cigar box, and they put it in there, and you see all the seeds
the
in the
seeds,
bottom.
yeah, they shifted it.
They
Yeah,
get the
honey.
seeds out.
That's right. And when it got hectic, they took them roaches and made a whole new joint.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
I remember those days. Oh my goodness! I remember getting in trouble because let me tell you, I got in trouble one time because I wasn't paying attention and I was cleaning up my She was my cousin, but she was much older than me, and I was cleaning out her room and I saw this like bowl and I just took the seeds outside and threw them out, and like a couple months later, me and my daddy, I said, Daddy, I need to show you something. And we went out in the front yard, and in between the two bushes was a little weed plant. Wow. And he was like, what is that? I said, well, I found these seeds in Jeannie's room, so I just kind of tossed them out. And my daddy was like, if you don't pull that up out there.
Did he smoke it?
Yeah, he probably smoked it. He probably did. But that's what we had back then. It wasn't no pretty color. It was just this greenish brown. The smell was there. You knew it, but it was nothing like when you open it up, the aroma you get.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
So what did my generation call them wraps? Like papers.
We just called them papers.
Backwoods. Those are called wraps. What did y'all use?
Paper. It was Tops paper.
You a 70s baby?
I'm a 70s baby.
Me
too. I was born. It was Tops paper.
So there was like no tobacco leaf.
No, they didn't do that. The blunt tobacco leaf.
Oh my God!
You remember Tops?
They used to call that in New York.
$1
on prisoners. That's what they call them in New York because that's jail. That's what they smoke.
Yeah,
that's jail.
It was Tops paper. That's what it was. And if you was fancy now, if you was fancy, you was uppity, you was bougie, then you had to roll it. It would roll it like a cigarette. Not the rollers we got today. This was like back in the 70s now. And you would have and then you could pack more in. We didn't have blunts. We had them big old Snoop Dogg blunts. It wasn't until Cheech and Chong came along, and the people didn't think about that because it was still discreet. Cheech and Chong came along, and that's when they started showing you how to make them big blunts, and because they would be high through all their movies. That's all their movies was about was weed. But it was crazy back then. It was nothing. We saw it at the parties when our parents were partying, and you had the smell, and honestly, we probably got a contact high and just didn't realize
it was so natural.
Yeah,
and we didn't have blunts, but I know where me growing up, we were around a lot of Rastas. From Jamaica, so we had spliffs. And it was the rolling paper like bamboo easy rider, and it got the glue on one side. They would just keep connecting it.
Whoa.
And they roll like a baseball bat. It was huge, and they be lit
like a little fire.
It smelled
like
so good.
Yeah,
I remember that. It used to smell so good.
The smell of it, and wait till you smell.
Really?
Now, oh my goodness!
I can't wait to be in my room with my kids because they so used to me being a goodie too. I don't drink, I don't smoke, so that's my thing. I want to be in that room with that door closed, and because usually I'm like, I know you ain't smoking in my house. I want them to do that to me.
Yeah, when they say it's like an orangey flavor, it's really like an orangey flavor.
I
like
want
you smell it.
indica.
Yeah,
so indica's the one that calms you down. So like I got Kush OG.
Oh no.
and this is the thing though. The names could scare you. Yeah, the names really could scare you.
But she's a 10. So she gets the strong stuff. They already know when she walking through the door. She's a 10.
Look, they got one called 10-pound hammer, 9-pound hammer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
you did the 9-pound hammer.
No, I haven't done that one yet.
What's the strongest one you did? You did the 9-pound hammer?
Yeah, you go to sleep. Yeah, I was smoking, but I was like so sleepy. I finished it. I don't know if I let it out. It was out, but I fell asleep.
Right.
Like I was mid-sleep at smoking it, and I was like, oh
that's with the 9-pound hammer.
Yes.
Just with the 9-pound hammer. I went in because I was having problems getting to sleep because the mind not
insomnia,
right?
And our age, honey. Right. So I don't know what it is.
The older you get, the harder it is to get to sleep. But it's like. It was just my mind wouldn't stop. It was worrying about this and I got to do this tomorrow and I couldn't get to sleep. So I went into the girl and I said, look, I can't get to sleep. I said, I need something and that's gonna knock me out. She said, I got one for you. She said 2 puffs and you'll be gone.
Really?
Yes, and it was a cartridge. It was a vape cartridge, and it's at 89.95%.
Oh no! Hell no!
2 puffs.
I gotta work my way up. I can't do it. I can't. I need something where I'm sticking my little toes in the water, like
and they'll tell you. I mean, they have some as low as I saw one. It was like a 8%.
Yeah.
So
Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
that would be good for
Harley
her.
Quinn.
Yeah. Harley Quinn.
You gotta write that down.
Yeah, it's low in THC but high in CBD. But it's still a good starter outer for somebody that really don't.
So am I going to develop a problem?
No.
Like, am I going to be?
That was one of the lies that was told to scare people away from it. Was that it was addictive? It's not. It's like, for me, if I didn't have to use it again, I'll be okay. I'm not gonna go through withdrawals and fiending and shit.
Looking like, where's my hammer?
Right.
I think the whole point of the medical marijuana for people that actually need it is to relieve pain. Some people get it just to say, "Oh, I got a medical card and have better bud than my friends in the street."
Right.
But the people that's actually using it for the sole purpose to get rid of the pain, it's not addicting for us. We're addicted to the relief.
Yeah,
that's what's
addictive.
It's not the actual weed I'm addicted to. It's just the relief of pain that I just don't feel.
And I can get back to normal.
Right. I can feel better about my body because I have scoliosis in my lower back. I do LA Confidential to relieve that. It's not the weed that I'm addicted to. It's not feeling back
the pain.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And
but you do know that's what addiction is.
Yeah.
Right. but here's the thing, though. People need to realize that we all have some type of addiction in some way, shape, or form. Right. No one wants to be in pain. Having fibromyalgia, I'm in pain all the time. I've learned how to mask it. Most people don't know when I'm in pain. People who know me can tell when I'm in pain, when I don't feel good, when other people can't. Yeah. But I'm telling you that weed, Lord have mercy. And I wasn't a weed smoker before that. So it took me a while. It took me some coaxing. I was talking to Chandra and Charlene and they were like, come on, you need to try it. And then when my doctor said to me, I think that would be good for you. Right. I was like, I'm
going to look into it for my mother because I told you she has diabetes.
Right.
And the neuropathy.
And it will help.
Gets the pain running up the shoulder. So I'm like, listen, we need to find out another alternative because these medications are horrible.
And they're just going to keep piling them up.
Yes. Like, no. I think God put weed on this earth. For us. You have an anxiety, pick a leaf.
But think about something. The government contradicted themselves for years because it was illegal. But guess what they did? They would approve it for people with
epilepsy
and glaucoma. They would, and then they said, it helps to relieve the pain for cancer patients. Right. So cancer patients who were terminal, they would approve it for them. So if it was so dangerous, right. But here's the thing. You want to know why they did it? Right. Because the government, they got paid for that. They would ship that to people. You couldn't go to the pharmacy and buy it. It was shipped to your house. But the government got paid for it through the insurance. The government they were drug dealers. They were legal drug dealers, and they knew they couldn't wrap their mind around losing that money, not realizing that if they would just go ahead and make it legal, the money they would get for all of the dispensaries that's going to open up around this country.
And when people was putting out hemp and all that other stuff, they seen how much money was in the hemp
the hemp oil.
To slowly move in marijuana and stuff.
And y'all can not congratulate Morgan & Morgan because they the reason why it's here.
Oh yeah, you're right. I used to see the commercials.
And they're the ones behind trying to get it as recreational. Now, talking about recreation, I went to Colorado for my son's wedding. Yeah. And we got there late the next day. Me and his brother, we looked and he was like, y'all ready? I'm like, I'm ready. So he took us to the dispensary. And I mean, they look like the dispensaries here. The dispensaries here are very unassuming. You wouldn't even know what it was. It don't blast it at all. Okay. And so beautiful building. You go in, beautiful lobby. You sit down. They ask you if you're recreational medical. And I said, well, I have a medical card. It's from Florida. They said, we can't accept it, so you'll be recreational. Okay. Same concept. They sit you down. They come and they get you. And they walk you into the candy store. Lord have mercy. When I tell you now in Colorado, they had I'm trying to remember that. Now the weed was good. Mm-hmm. It was still the same grades and everything, like for medical. Right. But girl, when you got into the gummies and the chocolates and
you did it up.
Oh my god, they had drinks.
You were stuck. They did the infused drink.
They do that. They sell the infused drink. They got refrigerators this clear full of different drinks.
Now, do you drink the whole drink or do you take a sip?
No, you do not. So the drink is 100. No, because the drink is 100 milligrams. So they tell you to drink it in 10 milligram
increments.
Right, just like when you're taking so I bought 3 THC pills. Mm-hmm. The THC pills, I messed up because I was still new at this. I had just got my card.
No,
they were 25 milligrams each.
And you took 2?
No, I didn't take 2. But I took 1 because he told me what I could do was open it up and put the powder in my drink. And I was like, no, I'm a big girl. You know, I got my big girl panties on. Shit,
honey, you was lit.
I was done. And so
it's a different high, though, right? Like stuff like that versus the weed that you smoke.
Oh yeah. It's a different, and it's quick. It comes to, depending on what you use, it kind of comes quicker.
See, stuff like that will bug me out. Like, I can't do quick. Yeah. I need to be like, okay.
No, it's not like you're gonna be sitting here. You're gonna do it and then you just 2 seconds. Like, no,
yeah.
Okay. When I say quick, your high gets there a little bit quicker than it does when you're smoking the weed. Because when you're smoking the weed, you're doing the puff puff pass, or you're doing the puff puff and you put it down. So you're puffing it in. So you're not. But when I put a gummy in my mouth, I have just put 10 milligrams of THC in my body,
and you're smoking probably like a 1 to a 1.5 gram joint. Right. It's different.
So it's different. So with all of the gummies and the candies, it's a quicker high. But once you get it, it still is that. It's not like you hit it and you're down.
Mm-hmm. So do you know any men that did it?
Oh yeah.
Was their performance better?
I'm
asking for a friend.
Now I'm gonna tell you, a friend of mine told me, because if he does a sativa, he has a sativa that he does, that because it gives him clarity, he can concentrate, he can last longer.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean that's for him,
right?
So I believe, now they did tell me that you can go in and say, I'm having issues with this sexually and blah blah blah, and they probably can tell you, because I'm telling you, them people behind the counter know
it,
everything.
I wonder if they got some sativa stuff that they can rub on, like you don't have to smoke, like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they have these. Okay. The patches, they have the lotions. They have the one, like,
crazy.
I'm gonna tell you, when I went to Colorado, I bought these little things. They look like BC powders. Remember the BC powder?
Yeah.
And the goodies, and they're about the size of that, and it's a powder, and they're plain.
Okay.
And you can have a drink.
You can mix it,
and put it in your drink. It has no smell and no taste, but it's strict 10 milligrams of THC.
What?
Yeah. So I bought some of them, and my son is a certified bartender. Okay. So I said, baby, you know what mommy likes, go make mommy a drink and then drop it down in the drink.
Right. Okay.
Thinking that, okay, I'm gonna drink it over time. I did drink it over that shit. Ooh Lord, I was high the whole time I was in Colorado. Just put it that way. Real? Yes.
Well, that's how you're supposed to be if you go out there. I mean, my friends called me and was like, I don't believe this. The cab driver's smoking a spliff. Yeah. And I'm in the back. I'm like, what? That's how that's why most people go out there.
Yeah, and it's and it's nice. It's a nice look. The people are friendly. They know everything. The way they display the flower, the bud. I mean, they have this one. I don't know how they did it. I think they must have put a magnet in the middle. It levitated in the middle. It was like these little glass jars. They were about this big. and it had like a blue light in it, and the weed was in the middle of it. It had vents, so you could open the vents to smell it.
Smell it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a lot of them have magnifying glasses in the top, so then when you look down, you can see like the purple and the gold and what other colors. It's all kind of colors.
It's sometimes they be frosty.
Yeah,
as I can tell if it's like a really good one.
That's
a lot of platinum things. Like there's one that's called Platinum Bubba. Those have the frost type thing.
This is like, I am just like really like.
And it's a dispensary down here called MedMen that she was talking about, that has the little cylinders with the actual bud inside there. You can open it, you can smell it, and you can look at it. And then in MedMen,
you can't go in unless you got that card.
No, in MedMen you can bring a guest, just one though.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just
well,
one.
we need to do a class trip.
We can.
I've never been in one.
Yeah, and then they'll educate you. But MedMen, they're a private owned one.
Yeah,
all the other ones like True Leaf, Satera, those are throughout Florida, but MedMen is the only
is independent.
Yeah,
it's an independent. It's you know,
business.
The unfortunate
and the
thing,
owner be there. He's really nice.
Really? Okay.
The unfortunate thing is when it comes back to our community, of all of these dispensaries that's opening up all over the country, very, very few of them are owned by people of color. It's been made very hard for people of color to be the owners of dispensaries, which is ironic because y'all been putting our asses in jail for how many years, you know, and now you're going to turn around and all of these men and women are going to be in jail, and then the people who jailed them are going to turn around and start making money off of the same thing they were doing.
And like on Trap Chronicles, we was talking about like a month ago, how there is a dispensary and there's the licenser's place down the street from the police department, and it was just crazy how to think like, you know, it's illegal, but it's like literally right here, but you jailing people for this, and it's literally like a building down from it, and that it's just crazy.
There's a lot of celebrities that is getting into the dispensary business. Raekwon from Wu-Tang Clan is getting into it.
Jay-Z,
Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z,
Monogram, Khalifa, Wiz Khalifa,
Shaquille O'Neal's wife, his ex-wife. So it's like, I guess
isn't that Shawnee?
Yeah, Shawnee. I guess it depends too on the location, on where you're at.
But see, they also, you got to look at the money that they have,
right? Because it costs a lot to get
it does now, but not every single dispensary that's open is owned by somebody who had celebrity money. You know, some of them there's, because Ohio, you can do it in Ohio through medical, and my best friend, his very good friend, is getting into the dispensary business. He is black, but he's a millionaire. You know, so he has the money, but there are dispensaries where instead of one person going in, what they did was they got a group of people. Yeah. So they got like 10 people who all could say, all right, we all gonna put $10,000 into this, and then you still have to go through a bidding war to get the license. It's like
they're gonna make it difficult.
Oh, they're gonna make it very difficult. But a group,
especially if it's a group.
Yeah, but there was a group of black women somewhere out west who finally broke through that ceiling, and then there's another lady. She's a chef, because my son is in training to become a chef, and she cooks with THC.
I heard about that.
Yes,
I heard it's so good.
She's not cooking like gummies. No, she cooking food.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lady on my Instagram I follow. I think her name's like Chef Bay or something. She cooks with a lot, and she makes her own butter type thing. Yeah, and I was gonna say that when you're talking about like how hard it hits you, doing edibles with the concentrate hits harder than doing it like making it the butter way, where you'll take the actual flour, boil it, I think, drain it, all that. Yeah, those ways are usually for like sweets, like brownies and stuff like that, but the concentrate way is more like drinks or like actual cooking stuff.
And I'm gonna tell you, like, another thing, because let me tell, like I said before, the guys in the dispensary, they know everything. So I made a mistake twice. I have had a two. I don't even know what to call it. Like I was too damn high. Yeah. You know.
What did you do? How did you know you was too damn high?
Oh, let me tell you. So for my birthday, I was given a syringe of concentrate. So it's a syringe, and it has the amber in it. And it's like 90% right? So, you know, a lot of times people will use that because it gets real thick when it's cold. So you warm it up and it
like sap.
Right, like sap, like sap. And then but if you warm it up, it softens and it liquidizes and it gets more like a molasses. So this was given to me for my birthday, and I said, okay, so what
now this is 90-something%.
Yes, like I think it's like 96 or something percent THC.
So this is way worse than the hammer.
Oh hell yeah! So the first time I used it, I took a toothpick and it was like literally the size of a grain of rice. Put it on the toothpick, put the toothpick between my gum and my cheek, and let it sit there, and it hit me. But I mean, it wasn't a bad hit, but it was the right amount. So the next time I went to go push some out, it was too hard to get out. So I put it up under the heating pad to heat it up so it could soften. And not paying attention, I put it on the toothpick, and then I put it in my mouth. But when I put it in my mouth, I realized now what I put in my mouth, it wasn't like I put a big glob. It was probably maybe the size of 2 grains of rice. Fucked me up.
Yeah. Really? Oh, wait, what did you do? You was just like stuck? You stopped talking?
No, it was paranoid. Like, so the high hit me first.
Yeah.
And then I got sleepy.
I feel like that time was a body high.
Oh, yeah. And then in my sleep, all of a sudden, it was like,
don't tell me you levitated.
No, look, I was it felt my heart was beating, but it wasn't beating. It wasn't beating fast. It felt like it was beating hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And then you it's like an out of body experience. That's because horrible. You're having a conversation with yourself, and then it's a mess. It's terrible. Horrible. And then at the end, I did nothing. I threw up. I felt like I threw up. I threw up for hours.
Wait a minute. What was this again? And it was.
It was the syringe. It was I call it amber, but it was the concentrate.
Oh my god!
The concentrate.
But you said it was 90-something.
Right, but don't get me wrong. People don't get scared of it. It was just I took too much.
Yeah, that's why you have to know. That's why the dispensary really, when you get your license, they give you all these pamphlets and packets, but you're actually supposed to read those because it helps you know how much you're supposed to take, because it is medical grade weed, so it's going to do exactly what it say. So
for my mother who has like I was telling you, the neuropathy, the constant pain in the hands, are you listening, Mom? I'm about to get you lit. The neuropathy in the hands and the shoulder, what strain?
I mean, she can do either, because like, okay, you go in and you tell them,
write this down.
You go in and you tell them, I have joint pain and inflammation.
Okay.
Like with your lower back pain, because of, you tell them what you have, and then they're going to ask you, okay, do you want to mellow out, or do you want to be able to function during the day? So they're going to ask you those questions, and based off of the way you answer the questions, they're going to tell you, okay, well, you want to be able to function during the day, so you really don't need to do an indica, because that's going to lay you out.
Indica lays you out. So that's good to take when you have an insomnia.
Yeah,
but me, I just need it all the time.
So she needs to function during the day.
They're probably going to give her a sativa or a hybrid that is sativa dominant.
Yeah, so like sativa alone gives you like a euphoric feel, like that fake feeling. Some people don't like that. I do not like that.
Explain that to me.
Okay, I got the perfect thing. So you know how all of a sudden in a Disney movie, when the princess getting ready to sing and everybody is just like, yeah, that's it. It's just like you got this energy. I can do this. Yes,
you were turning into a superhero.
Right, things are more amplified.
Yeah,
okay.
Your vision, like everything,
like
more
ecstasy.
like
People say ecstasy make them
right, and so and people don't realize you can take it for clarity.
You can,
it clears up. So all of that noise in your head, it kind of like parts the sea, and then the stuff that needs to come through, so it allows you to function. Now, do you still feel that high? Yes, but it's a different high than the indica that's gonna tell you, chill out, smoke this blunt.
So the sativa have you like, I'm Batman.
With sativa, you know how like when you smoke, your eyes be heavy. With sativa, you don't have that feeling because you're up. You're alert. You're awake. You're ready to do stuff.
It's an upper.
Yeah, you're not all down with the heavy eyes and looking all. Yeah, you're not like that.
So during the day, they may give her a sativa, and they probably will tell her to do something that has a CBD component to it, because the CBD part of it is going to help with the neuropathy. It's going to help with the pain. The THC part is the part that helps your brain deal with the pain. So it's going to calm your brain down, and it's going to give your brain the ability to do what it's supposed to do without all of that other shit in your head. You know, and so like, I have different ones. So I'm learning, like, I'm not a professional yet. But I'm learning. So I know that, okay, today I got to do XYZ. Okay, well, I'm going to do my mango gummy because that's a sativa, but it gives me clarity of mind. You know, okay, today I'm feeling a little anxious, so then I'm gonna do, you know, my purple people eater because, you know, it does XYZ. Yeah, purple people eater.
Purple people eater.
Yeah. Oh, look, you're gonna love these names.
The names are so crazy.
Yes. So what about for people who are going through, like, okay, female going through menopause, the ups and downs, you get the anxiety, you get depression. What is good for, like,
they're gonna tell you, so if you with the anxiety, they're gonna want to bring you down. You know, so they're gonna give you something that's gonna help, and they're gonna say, okay, you got to function during the day. Okay, this is your sativa to help bring that anxiety down.
And that's where the hybrids come in.
Right.
That's perfect.
And then
the depression, you want to go up.
You want to go up, but they're gonna balance you out. So for some people, they may tell you, you know, we're going to give you a blend of sativa and CBD.
And so, this is a bud that you smoke?
It's any product. That's the good thing about this, is that all of this stuff that we talk about is across all of their products.
You don't necessarily have to have it in flower, because not everybody truly is a smoker. They like to eat things, put it on top of their skin, and stuff like that.
I'm big on the edibles. Now, I do smoke. Usually I smoke when it's an anxiety issue, because it's something about holding either the joint or the pen and going back and forth with it. You know, so when the anxiety kicks in, but any other thing that I do, it's edibles. And the good thing about edibles, especially if it's the lozenge or the gummy, you can actually cut it up. So you could get they come in 10 grams, and they come 10 to a jar, so it's like 100 grams. So you could actually literally take it and split it in 4s. So if you split
one little bear,
they come in little squares. So you would take it and split it in 4s. So instead of getting 10 grams, each piece that your mama, whoever eats, is getting 2.5 grams. Build up. You know, don't go in there like you think you're a boss and toss the 10 grams in your mouth. But here's the thing I found out about if you get that too high thing, because you know the too high thing, because in the end your body wants it out, so you throw up a lot of times. And when I tell you
from the edibles,
it's just the amount of THC that you took. But what I found was, you know what counters it? CBD, and I didn't know that. So if you've taken too much THC, if you can get to some CBD oil or hemp oil, and ingest that, it counters it. Look, I got that CBD.
Y'all got this weed stuff, stuff down packed.
Look, you know, and like I said, I wasn't a big weed person, but I'm tired of all of the pharmaceutical medicine.
It's terrible.
And don't get me wrong, the doctors, it's not that the doctors don't know what to do, but people don't understand what doctors are there for. Doctors are not there to cure you, because they don't know those things. What they know how to do is they can advise you, and they make you feel better for the moment.
They put band-aids on.
On, and they tell you that, but unfortunately we got this.
That's westernized medicine, though. You have to go, if you want to be cured, you got to go, what do they call it, homeopathic, and they talk against all of that. You know, it's very rare to find a doctor, like, that's why I was so surprised when my doctor was like, oh, you want to do that? Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I was like, oh
shit.
But a lot of doctors are actually finding that it's actually helping.
Yeah.
Because I used to work at CVS in the pharmacy, and a lot of people will come in for just like migraine medicine. It's like you can smoke weed for that. You don't even have to take a pill. Who knows what's in this pill? Because it's made by a machine.
Right. Now, people with high blood pressure can take the
but they will probably keep them away from anything that's going to give them that high. They're probably going to keep them more on an indica dominant strain.
Or they won't even allow them to smoke it. You'll just have to do like the topical type stuff.
Yeah, and then they probably
because it raises your blood pressure.
Smoking raises your blood pressure in a way. Yeah,
and so, but what they can do is the doctor may say, you know what, I'm giving you a prescription that is more heavy on CBD.
Right.
So that means that they may tell you can't do more than 10 grams so they get. I mean, the prescriptions are real, and you go in. You have your you have to set up an account with the Florida Department of Health, and you go in and it has all of your demographics in it. Girl, it pulls your picture from your driver's license.
No.
Yes, because
so you can't give your card.
No.
Right.
Look, they pull your picture from your driver's license, so whatever picture on your driver's license is gonna be on your card, and and they give you your card. You go in, you see everything. You can go in and make changes, if you move, anything like that, and then down at the bottom it shows you your allotment.
Yeah, and then I know for a fact that not everybody goes to get a card for the same thing. So I went in for mental things like my anxiety and depression. So on my allotment thing, I didn't have edibles. I only had smokable. Okay. But somebody else could have edibles but not smokable. So you can choose how you want to take it. They ask you in the appointment, what is your preferred way? And you will always let them know. And you can always go back and add.
Because I added, I didn't have edibles. Because the way I don't know if we explained it. You go to a doctor. You can't like your regular doctor can't do this.
Yes. Okay.
Insurance does not cover it. So there's different doctors and they charge different amounts. Okay. The doctor that I went to, Dr. MJ, they charge $186. They do have a payment plan for people who can't pay the $186. You pay that. You have your doctor's appointment. And then once you do that, the doctor sends his paperwork up to the state. Yeah. You're going to get emails from the state. They're going to tell you how to go in and make your account. Yeah. You're going to get emails, and then they're going to finally get an email telling you that you have been approved.
That's your temporary card.
Right. Oh, okay. And once you get that, that's when you go in and pay the $75. Okay. Now, the $75 you have to pay every year. The doctor's appointment you have to do every 7 months. Okay. So you do need to be prepared to know that you're going to probably come out of pocket somewhere between $150 and probably, I think the most expensive I heard was $260 for a doctor's appointment. So you're going to, every 7 months you're going to have to come up with that. Now if you find a doctor who takes monthly payments like Dr. MJ does, then basically what you're doing is you're just on a year-round payment plan. So you can still go to the doctor and don't have to miss an appointment. But your card, you pay $75 once a year.
And how much is the actual products though? When you go, how much do you use? It's a lot?
No. I've the $35. I've got some bud for $35.
How much? Yeah. If I have 50, how much can I get? I can get a lot.
Yeah, you could get. I mean, you could get. You're gonna get 3.5 grams if you go in there for flour. You're either gonna get 3.5 grams or you're gonna get the 7 grams that's ground up.
And
that's
like the only two choices. About $40-$50. You said?
Yeah. I've seen it as expensive as $65. But I've seen it. I saw one for $25.
Yeah. It all depends on where you go.
Yeah.
And with the
shop around
with the pre-roll size. This is important. The smaller it is, the higher the potency is.
Like pills.
The longer it is, the less the potency is. Okay. Like Fluent on 34th, theirs is huge. Theirs is the biggest pre-rolls I ever seen out of all the dispensaries in St. Pete.
Wow.
Yeah. They're like long, but they're like low in potency.
And the prices for the joints can run anywhere. I think I've seen as cheap as $8.
Yeah. Sale days, $8. Sometimes they do buy one get
one free.
Yeah.
Like the
they
patch
always have deals.
Yeah, like this patch. The patch that I have on there usually $15 each. They last for 3 days. Right now they're 40% off, so I paid $9 for them.
And they love holidays.
Oh yes.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh my.
So wait, how long does it take for you to get your card? If you have your money and you're ready to roll, if I went
We got ours during COVID time, so it took a little minute.
But it wasn't that long. I think 2 weeks.
So if I went to the doctor tomorrow,
but other people's was like a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
If I went to the doctor tomorrow, I wouldn't get my card. I wouldn't be able to buy.
A week and a half to 2 weeks, yeah, because they're getting better now. Now I don't know, for your first appointment, you may have to go in face to face, but because of COVID, now we're doing.
You could do it over the.
we're doing. You can do Zoom calls with your doctor.
Okay. I know that's how you do. Because I know someone, they did an appointment over Zoom or over the phone. Like you didn't have to go back to the doctor's office.
Okay.
So, and you have to talk to the doctor every so months.
Every 7 months is when you have to go in and see the doctor.
Keep them in the loop. It's basically just like a checkup.
Yeah, and
like it's a real doctor. This is an actual real.
I'm so excited to get high.
Yeah. Just look, and when I tell you, we have to think about it. How long has weed been around, y'all?
Forever.
It was a plant. It's a plant.
It's a plant. Yeah.
Like my friend said, God put it on the earth. It was put on the earth for something,
right?
But also pharmaceutical companies realized that weed could put a big dent in their thing. Yeah. So they didn't want it legal either. So
exactly.
We're going to talk about this subject a little bit more because a lot of people, even though it has become legal medically, people are still scared of it. Yeah. And there were a lot of lies. I'm just going to say point blank lies that were put out in our community to basically scare people away from trying to get their medical marijuana card. And we'll talk about that on another show because it's still a taboo when it shouldn't be. But it helps. And I mean, I will contest to it helps. It does. And I know.
Yeah.
It helps you.
I know a lot of people, like during family functions of extended family, they'll look at you all funny and weird because, for me, it's pain relief. Yeah. Sorry you look at it like that, but for me, this is good for me. Yeah, I don't look at it in a bad light, so I don't have a problem with it. So, it's an issue with that.
That's okay. That's when you go get your hammer and everything they throwing at you. Okay. Child boo. I'm not in pain. Y'all can sit with your mouth poked out if you want to.
Yeah.
And that's their stuff that they got to deal with. But it's true. I went to a family function and my uncle laughed. He came over. He saw me sitting there. He said, "You feeling good?" I was like, "Hell yeah."
Exactly.
But that's what, if that's what I need to be able to function from day to day, that's what I need. And as long as it's not impeding me, as long as it's not making me make bad decisions, we good.
And just real quick, I did have like an issue with going in grocery stores for my social anxiety. And when I started smoking, it eased it down for me, and I was able to grocery shop, do all this, be in a store. So it's really, 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 really beneficial.
It is. And so tell mama she about to have.
You listening, mom? I'm about to get you right.
Mama about to have. Now let me say this though. I want people to be careful because one of the big things is.
Please let's talk about this before.
Yes, before we go. And I know we probably over the little 7 minutes. I'm sorry. But the one thing I do want people to know is, okay, so I have a medical marijuana card. That card is for me. It's in my name. I can go in and I can buy it. When you buy stuff, whether it's a pre-roll, bud, anything, they just like they put a label on your prescription at CVS, they put a label on your stuff. Do not take those labels off, because if I'm driving in my car and I have my pen, I keep the little cartridge that my pen goes in with the prescription on it, because not only you got that card, but I still need to see that you got a prescription for what you have. So the one thing people like, my girlfriend got a medical marijuana card, we gonna have a whole bunch of, we ain't gonna have a whole bunch of nothing. And like I actually made a mistake, and the girl misunderstood me, but I went in one day and I was saying how my mother really needed a CBD, and I was, I just really want her to try a CBD. She thought I was saying I was coming in there with my prescription to get a something from my mother, and so she was like, no, and she didn't even say no, you can't do that. She was just like, her hand, she was telling me to hush, and she misunderstood what I said, but I got what she meant. So people have gotten in trouble for that.
Yeah.
You know, where I went and got some weed and I handed it off to such and such, and they get stopped in the car and they got my prescription
name on it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So people, be careful now.
Yeah.
You know, yes, you have to be careful because it's medicine.
Yeah.
You know, it's medical. So, you know, and I've heard of people who kind of, they both of them. So not only does your friend get in trouble, but then you turn around and get in trouble too. Yeah.
You know, one of the viewers just said that you can't get a concealed weapons license if you have a marijuana card.
Yes, you can.
You can?
Yes, you can. We can talk about that too. Look, we don't research that bad boy. And there's ways around it, and it's legal ways. So we can tell you.
You heard that, Tiff?
Because here's the thing: the Secretary of Agriculture here in the state of Florida is a woman. She's the one who issues the concealed weapons permit. I don't know why it goes through agriculture.
Really?
Yeah, but that's who you have to. But she is the Secretary of Agriculture. She has a medical marijuana card and she has her concealed weapons permit.
Oh, okay.
A lot of those security guards who are security guards at the places, they're security guards with guns, and guess what? They got their medical marijuana card. So you can. It's a little bit different. You have to be careful with the way you do it.
You can't. I know. I read something. You can't come straight from the dispensary with your gun in the car, and if it's in the car you have to lock it up, stuff like that. Like you can't be carrying the gun on you with the bag,
right?
You can't be doing that like that. So,
and then there's there's things you got to do in order to actually get it. You know, so it's possible, and we can talk about that in another show. So I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to everybody for listening.
I know that's right.
I wanted to say thank you to your girl NY for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We're looking forward to having you back.
Yes.
We'll finish this conversation next week. I think I'm going to go ahead and we're going to finish this one, and then we'll get to the deeper conversation a little bit later. But like we've said in the past, please remember to tune in to Power Plug Radio. Listen to us in all those different areas. I want you to listen to all of us. We play music. We have shows and anything and everything you can think of. So I want to say thank you to the smoking section for being here.
Thank you, smoking section.
Thank you. Before we go, tell us just one little thing. How can they find you?
You can check us out on Facebook at the smoking section, and we're on Facebook for just right now.
Okay. And I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. You have been listening to Taboo Talk, and Trap Chronicles will be coming on at 10 p.m.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
I get money realistically, and the homies show me love. Groupies wanna lead a club with me. Ain't nothing to a G. Let your hair blow in the